Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Never Stop Learning. In this video, we will discuss Order 1 of Civil Procedure Code, that is Parties of Suits, deals with rules 1 to 13. Let's see all these 13 rules in brief. Rule 1 says about who may be joined as plaintiffs. In this, all the persons can be joined in one suit if when the relief claimed arises out of same act or transaction or other those persons who files different suits, common question of law or fact would arise. In these conditions, the persons in one suit joined as plaintiffs. You have to remember one thing in order 1, that is to fulfill these two conditions. Number 1, the relief arises out of same act or transaction. Number 2, if separate suit has taken, then common question of law or fact should be arise. If these two conditions are fulfilled, then plaintiffs can be joined in one suit. Let's see with an example. A is the person, he enters into agreement with B and C. In this, he agreed to sell 100 tons of oil, but later he refuses to sell. In this, both B and C has recovery of damage and act arises out of same transaction, that is breach of contract. So B and C can be joined as plaintiffs in one suit. Let's see with another example. A enters agreement with B that he sells 100 tons of oil at particular rate. Another day A contracts with C at same price and quantity to sell 100 tons of oil. Here B and C had a contract in different time, so that same act or transaction is not occurred, then B and C cannot be joined as plaintiffs. In first example, we saw that A has entered agreement jointly with B and C, and also same act and transaction arises, and also common question of law arises too. Therefore, B and C can be joined as plaintiffs in one suit. But in second example, we saw that A has a contract with B and C in different time. In this same act or transaction doesn't arises, therefore B and C cannot be joined as plaintiffs in one suit. Rule 2 talks about power of court to order separate trials. If court thinks that any joinder of plaintiffs may embarrass or delay the trial, then court will give option of election to plaintiff. Or court itself gives order of separate trial, or court can also give such orders which it thinks correct. Rule 3 says about who can be joined as defendants. All persons may be joined in one suit as defendants where these two conditions are fulfilled. Number 1, those right to relief is claimed against them that too arises in same act or transaction. Number 2, if they file separate suit against them, then in this situation, common question of law or fact will arise. If these two conditions are fulfilled, then defendants may be joined in one suit. The primary object of Rule 1 and 3 is to avoid multiplicity of proceedings and unnecessary expenses. Let's discuss with an example. There is an accident between bus and car. Bus belongs to B and car belongs to C. Because of an accident, the person A is injured. Here A can file suit against B and C for damages for the negligence of B and C. So in this situation, B and C can be joined as defendants in one suit. If the plaintiff has a doubt that from which person he should claim damages, or he is confused with two or more defendants, then he can add all defendants in one suit. Rule 3a talks about power to order separate trials where joinder of defendants may embarrass or delay trial. In this rule, if court thinks defendant may embarrass or delay the trial, then court orders separate trial or gives such order which court thinks correct in the interest of justice. Rule 4 says about court may give judgment for or against one or more of joint parties. Court may give judgment for one or more plaintiff if they found entitled to relief. In case of defendant 2, the court may give judgment as if the defendant may be found liable. Rule 5. Defendant need not to be interested in all the relief claimed. It says that there are so many defendants and the plaintiff was claimed so many. Here it is not necessary that defendant is liable for all the relief claimed in any suit against him. That defendant is liable for some amount of relief and the other relief is not applicable on him and he is not interested in it. Rule 6. Joinder of parties liable on the same contract. It explains that the parties were agreed and enters into a contract, but after they breach the contract, so the plaintiff can join all these parties as defendants together in one suit. Rule 7. When the plaintiff in doubt from whom redress is to be sought. It means if the plaintiff has a doubt that when two or more defendants are there and that he is not understanding that from whom he is entitled, then in this situation, plaintiff can file two or more defendants together in one suit. Also, we can determine which defendants are liable and up to what relief. Rule 8. One person may sue or defend on behalf of all in the same interest. It says that if parties is numerous, then court can grant permissions or court itself gives the direction from one of them, or more than one can file suit against them and also defend them. That's why Rule 8 is called as representative suit. The main object of the suit is to avoid multiplicity of suits. To To file suit under Rule 8, you must follow these conditions. Number 1. Numerous parties, means more than one party. Number 2. The interest of the party in suit must be same. Number 3. Permission or direction must have been granted from the court. Number 4. Notice to parties to represent in India. The parties has not received any notice, then the judgment does not bind on those parties. Rule 8a. Power of court to permit a person or body of persons to present an opinion or to take part in the proceedings. In this rule, it is based on the discretionary power of the court, that the court may or may not accept the persons to present an opinion or to take part in the proceedings. Rule 9. Misjoinder and non-joinder of parties. It says that the suit is not dismissed because of misjoinder and non-joinder. Rule 10. Suit in name of the wrong plaintiff. In this condition, the court can order to substitute or add any other person and can also give such orders which court thinks correct. Rule 11. Conduct of suit. It means that how the suit is conducted. Rule 12. Appearance of one of several plaintiffs or defendants for others. Means that if more than one plaintiff, then all the plaintiff can authorize for one or more plaintiff to appear in a plead. As well in defendants too, if one or more than it, then all the defendants authorize for one or more defendants to appear in a plead. The authority should be in writing and also need the signs of parties. Rule 13. Objections has to non-joinder or misjoinder. On the basis of the objections of non-joinder and misjoinder, then it is taken in the earliest possible opportunity, because before the issues were settled up, at that time only it should be raised. If not, then it should be treated as that right to objection is waived. This is the brief explanation of Order 1 of CPC, which deals with rules 1 to 13. Thank you for watching.